As I'm sure you know, Los Angeles has been devastated by the worst wildfires in its history, which have destroyed entire neighborhoods and communities and displaced thousands of people. It's a harrowing tragedy of unimaginable devastation. And we first and foremost want to send our thoughts and our love to everyone who's been affected. Almost everyone who works on this show, myself included, have dear friends and family who've been impacted by this nightmare. And we all just want to say we are thinking of you. Please stay safe and follow the directions of your local authorities and emergency workers. Officials have stressed, if you've been told to evacuate, please do so immediately. Do not wait, just go. If you're in an area that is not evacuated yet, now's a good time to prepare by knowing your evacuation routes and gathering the supplies you'll need. And you can get real-time alerts from the FEMA app, as well as an incredibly helpful app called Watch Duty and the Los Angeles Fire Department. The images are surreal, the loss is incalculable, but in the face of that loss, friends and neighbors, strangers alike, are banding together to help one another. The bravery of firefighters and emergency workers has been second to none. No firefighter should ever have to pay for a beer or, because it's LA, a matcha smoothie ever again. The kindness and compassion and resourcefulness and solidarity on display have been nothing short of breathtaking and awe-inspiring. It's as clear as ever that people just desperately want to help one another, which is why we deserve leaders and institutions who will do the same. I think it's also important to say, again in this moment, that climate change is real. It is an imminent and existential threat to the lives and safety of Americans, and we must treat it like the crisis it is. Unfortunately, there are politicians who would rather spread lies about the emergency response, and I'm not gonna name names, but Donald Trump. His name is Donald Trump. All right, good. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I tried to help it, but I shouldn't have had that second matcha smoothie today. I like them too. They're good. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Donald Trump has myriad obsessions, but two obsessions that seem to always be at the forefront of his mind are himself and water. And I think it's because he just discovered what water is.
When you buy a faucet, no water comes out.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. You can't just buy a faucet and get water. You have to install the faucet. This is real life, it's not a cartoon. You gotta attach it to a water line, see if you have any more luck. You just see this jabroni at a Home Depot picking up faucets and saying, this one's a dud. They're all broken. But I interrupted. You were bitching?
When you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to preserve. Even in areas that have so much water, you don't know what to do. It's called rain. It comes down from heaven. And they want to do, no water comes out of the shower. It goes drip, drip, drip.
And let me just say, after 4 years of Joe Biden, who is prone to a senior moment now and then, it is so refreshing to have Kid Science here tell us it's called rain, and he didn't even have to Google that. Also, dude, it doesn't come from heaven. Even God would tell you that. Rain comes from clouds, you doink. You think I just made those things so people on mushrooms could look for shapes? This guy. And yeah, in my head, God is a New Yorker. I'm sorry, that's just the way. You think walking on water is a miracle? I'll give you a miracle. Catching a cab in Midtown during rush hour. Oh. Jesus, Mary. Also, could someone tell him he doesn't have to do the sound effects for us? We know what dripping sounds like. Dude clearly never read a book to his kids in his life, but every press conference is like story time at the library. We're gonna close our borders. Trump also has a thing for bottled water, specifically his own. Like when he showed up to the scene of the disastrous train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio.
We're bringing thousands of bottles of water, Trump water, actually, most of it. Some of it we had to go to a much lesser quality water.
All right, first of all, what the hell is Trump water?
It's called rain.
Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. He probably just puts a bucket out. Second, I want to understand this. Not only did you show up to the scene of a disaster with your own Trump-branded water, but you admit you didn't bring enough, so you gave some people what is, by your own admission, worse water. What could possibly lesser quality than Trump water? We brought Trump water, which is the best clear, distilled, filtered water. But some people will be getting Eric water. It's mostly hot dog stuff from the street vendors, and of course, some of it dripped from the air conditioners. And now again, Trump is lying about water. This time, the water that brave firefighters are using to battle the wildfires. And by the way, let me just say, before we get to Trump's comments, that what these firefighters are doing is nothing short of miraculous. Look at this incredible clip of the LA Fire Department dumping water on the Sunset Fire in Hollywood. That's amazing. That is amazing. They're flying at high altitudes above raging fires and fierce winds and manage a direct hit. It takes me 4 or 5 tries to put out a candle in my bathroom. And yeah, I got candles in my bathroom. Every night when I get home from work, I like to treat myself to a nice, relaxing, candlelit bubble bath and a tub filled with, and I hate to admit this, Trump water. It's the best water. It is soft on my delicate skin, I'm sorry. So the firefighters are doing courageous work, and then there's the president-elect who has decided to chime in not to help, but to spread bullshit that will just make the emergency response more difficult.
The president-elect blaming the Biden administration for the fires in California. Let me read one of his posts to you. He says, quote, "No water in the fire hydrants, no money in FEMA. This is what Joe Biden is leaving me. Thanks, Joe."
I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm so over this guy. I'm running out of clever retorts, which brings us to a segment called Shut Up. Dude, you're so annoying. Just do us all a favor and shut up.
This has been Shut Up.
And, by the way, I'm very aware that some on the right will accuse me of having Trump derangement syndrome, but he's the deranged one, not me, you see. I'm just reacting to his derangement. That's like saying Rick on The Walking Dead has zombie derangement syndrome, does he? Or is there just a zombie problem? And look, I realize I'm sounding a little deranged right now, but he's not even in office yet, and it's already starting again. The constant beat of his terrible behavior, and it's never gonna stop. It's just like
Drip, drip, drip.
I was just setting that up, you guys. I'm totally cool. I'm totally cool. Seriously, how does this guy find a way to make everything on Earth about himself? It's honestly almost impressive at this point. He brings Trump water to train derailments, complains about how the wildfires are hard on him. Never invite Donald Trump to your birthday, or he'll somehow end up blowing out all the candles and making the wish. Oh, is it your birthday too, Donald? Yes and no. No in the sense that it's January. My birthday is in June, but yes in the sense that I want to eat the cake and make a wish. And I want to take a picture with Chuck E. Cheese. Charles! I call him Charles, great guy. Charles Entertainment Cheese. We used to hang out in New York in the 80s. Those were wild times. I met him at Studio 54. It was me, Chuck E. Cheese, and Jeffrey Epstein. You say what you want about Jeff Epstein. He was great at skee-ball. End of the night, so many tickets. Of course, Trump is lying. Southern California does not have a shortage of water for fighting the fires. There is no relationship between federal and state water management and the intensity of these fires, or the ability of people to fight these fires. Some hydrants are running dry, not because the region ran out of water, but because pressure drops with high demand, making it harder to move water around. Wait, you're telling me the guy who thinks you buy a faucet and it just comes with water doesn't know how hydrants work? Trump also claimed on his social media platform that California Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the Water Restoration Declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water to flow daily into many parts of California. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. There's a ton of problems with this, but how exactly do you protect a fish by giving it less water? I need water to live. Do you, smelt? Or are you using it as a crutch? Smelt. But you heard Trump. Newsom refused to sign the Water Restoration Declaration, a very real document that definitely exists, right?
President-elect Donald Trump is blaming the disaster in Southern California, even as those homes and buildings burn and residents flee, on California Governor Gavin Newsom. Trump posted about the fires several times yesterday on his social media platform. The president-elect claimed Governor Newsom's water management decisions caused some fire hydrants to run dry, an idea experts dispute strongly. Trump also wrote that Governor Newsom refused to sign the Water Restoration Declaration, a document that does not exist.
Wait, the Water Restoration Declaration doesn't exist, but I trusted the expertise of the guy who said water that comes from heaven is called rain. And of course it doesn't exist. You can tell just from the phrase Water Restoration Declaration, which sounds super made up. It sounds like a name a bunch of stoners would make up for their bong. I call this Her Highness, the Archduke of Sativa, smoker of Kush, and liege of the 7 reeferdoms. But she is empty, so I declare water restoration. Firefighters and emergency workers are showing tremendous bravery and courage, and the thousands of Los Angeles residents who've been impacted by this tragedy have shown incredible solidarity and kindness. They deserve similar compassion from their leaders. Instead, we have a president-elect taking office who is of, let's say,
Much lesser quality.
this has been A Closer Look.